quilt stitching, all right? And I need to see you doing your quilt stitching, make sure you're doing it right. So check with me after you've done a little bit. You're going to want to trim your batting, okay? Carefully, very carefully with a pair of scissors. It's going to be hanging out extra, right? Because it's extra big. So you're going to need to get a pair of scissors in there and trim along the edge of your patchwork. But here's what I really want to warn you about.
Before you do the stitch or after?
After you do your quilt stitching, okay? You're going to trim that, but you have to be very careful that you don't cut through this backing fabric. It's easy to do. So however you want to do that, I would probably try to fold this under and, you know, make sure it's way out of the way while I trim that batting off. And then as you come around the other side, fold that under, trim the batting off. Just be real careful, because it really hurts when you find that you have a hole right through your back after you've done all your quilting. All right? Really is painful. So then, make sure everything's ironed real well, and you're going to take your fabric and you're going to, this should be the same here as it is over here, as it is over here, and on all four sides, right? Same distance from your quilt to the edge of your backing. All right. Fold that in half, right up to the edge of your quilting, all right? Or your patchwork, just like that. And you might be able to get away with just using your fingers. This is called finger pressing, all right? There's a term for it. And you want to be as accurate as you can, finger pressing, and then fold it again like that, all right? Right against that edge, right? And pin it like this. In from the edge, perpendicular to the edge, like that. And this should be the same distance, the same size, all the way around. And what do you do about the corners? All right, I'm going to just pin this quickly. You will probably go slower. I'm just doing it fast because I know you guys are standing there. Let me pull up. These are the old stitching. I keep reusing the same demonstration piece. It's been like 3 semesters now. Put it together, take it apart. Put it together, take it apart. But it's good. You guys can practice on this. This is yours too. All right? Practice the quilt stitching, practice the hem stitching. Fold this. And that's looking a little shorter than the other. But, again, I'm going pretty quickly. All right? And you also will be doing a little bit of putting it in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out. Because once you get it pinned on all 4 sides this way, and I'm just going to sort of do the Julia Child method. You guys know who Julia Child is?
She was a spy.
No, she wasn't. She was a chef.
She was also a spy.
There's a, yeah, what's that movie called? It just came out like a year or 2 ago.
Think about Harriet Spy.
She was also a spy.
She did French cooking. She wasn't French, but she did French cooking, and she made it accessible to the public because she was one of the first cooking shows on TV. But she was a wild woman. I mean, she was really wacky and a lot of fun, and she had this contagious laugh, and she would drink wine while she was cooking, like all good chefs do, right? And but then she was the one who started this thing of, you know, she'd sort of show you what to do, and then she'd pull the finished one out of the oven, so that you didn't have to sit there, you know, like waiting. So that's what I mean when I say Julia Child method. I'm going to show you enough for you to get an understanding, but then I've got like the finished version on the other side. Anyway, pin. She was not a spy. Maybe she was. I don't know. On the corners, that's where it gets tricky. We're going to do the mitered corners. And ideally, what you're going to want to do is the same thing on the corners this way, all right? And I'm going to have to stand up and go iron this. So I'm going to do this. Stay put, don't move. I'm going to give it a quick iron.